All right, ready to dive deep. Today we're exploring Spiritism, and we'll be looking at Allan Kardec's The Gospel According to Spiritism. It was written back in the 1800s,
Yeah,
and it presents this really unique perspective on spiritual thought and how it connects to religion.
it does.
So one of the things that really struck me was this idea of three major spiritual revelations.
Right.
Moses, Christ, and then Spiritism. I mean, honestly, that's a pretty bold claim, isn't it?
It is.
Can you help us unpack that a little bit? How does Spiritism see these three revelations as connected?
Well, Spiritism views these revelations as stages in our understanding of God's plan.
Okay.
So starting with Moses, Spiritism sees him as delivering God's law,
Right.
but it distinguishes between the eternal moral principles
Okay.
and the civil laws that were specific to his time and place.
So the Ten Commandments versus the more, let's say, situational laws.
Exactly. The Ten Commandments are seen as that timeless core,
Right.
focusing on our relationship with God and each other.
Okay.
But those other laws,
The ones that seem kind of harsh to us now, like eye for an eye,
right.
is that really seen as God's ultimate decree?
Spiritism argues that those civil laws, while seemingly severe, were necessary for that time,
Okay.
for a society that wasn't as morally developed.
So it's like God meeting humanity where they were at, using the tools that worked.
Precisely.
It's not that those laws were wrong,
Yeah,
but they were meant for that specific context.
exactly. They were stepping stones,
Okay, that makes sense.
not the final word.
Yeah, so if Moses laid the foundation, what's Christ's role in this scheme?
Christ is seen as taking those core principles and elevating them.
Ah,
He didn't abolish the law, but he revealed its deeper meaning.
like a hack.
He did, like a hag to unlock deeper understanding.
I like that.
Remember that quote? Love God above all things and your neighbor as yourself. That sums it up.
Yeah, that's powerful.
It really is.
But why did it take humanity so long to get it?
Spiritism believes that Christ's teachings were intentionally veiled,
Oh,
awaiting a time when humanity was ready.
and that time is now.
Exactly.
It's a science.
Exactly. Spiritism sees itself as revealing the missing pieces,
Okay.
providing scientific validation for what was once considered purely religious or allegorical.
It bridges the gap, then,
It does.
between science and religion.
Exactly. It bridges that gap.
That's always this conflict
Right.
between those two.
Yeah, it's a perceived
They're
conflict.
two sides of the same coin, though, right?
Precisely. And Spiritism aims to resolve that.
So it's like they're speaking different languages, but Spiritism is like the translator.
Brilliant analogy.
So Spiritism seeks to decode the laws of the spirit world, like science does for the physical world.
Exactly.
But it's not just about knowledge, right?
Right.
This understanding must lead to something.
It does.
There's some kind of action, a change.
Exactly.
This moral revolution idea.
Precisely.
Imagine a world where scientific progress is guided by compassion.
Yes.
Technology used to uplift.
Yes.
That's what Spiritism envisions. Exactly.
That's pretty incredible.
It is.
How do we get there, though?
Well, Kardec includes some voices from the spirit world in his book.
Oh, cool. I love that.
They offer some guidance on just that.
Okay.
There's a striking passage from an Israelite spirit
Okay.
that talks about the evolution of moral understanding.
Let's hear it.
All right, so it states, "The time has come in which moral ideas must be developed.
Okay.
These ideas must follow the same route that the ideas of liberty, their forerunners, traveled."
Wow, liberty. That's powerful.
It is.
So moral progress, it's on a similar path as the fight for freedom.
Precisely.
But those battles can be tough,
They can be.
long and hard fought.
Yes. The journey towards moral understanding won't be easy. There will be challenges, debates.
Setbacks.
Absolutely.
It's a fight worth having, though, right?
It is.
And what's fascinating is that this spirit emphasizes individual action.
Yes.
Sometimes these huge changes feel so out of our control.
Right.
Like, what can we do as individuals? But the Israelite spirit says, to each his or her mission, to each his or her labor.
So we all have a role to play
Exactly.
through our choices, our actions.
Yes, each of us can contribute to moral progress.
I love that.
It's empowering.
Yeah.
It really is.
But I'm sure not everyone is going to be thrilled about this whole moral revolution thing.
That's true, and that's where Fenelon comes in.
Okay.
His excerpt uses incredibly dramatic language.
Yeah, it's almost apocalyptic, right?
It is.
He talks about the world being shaken,
Yes.
the need to stand firm.
Yes. To prepare ourselves.
It's a wake-up call.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It highlights the urgency and importance of Spiritism's message.
And it's specifically targeted at what he sees as the growing materialism of science.
Right, not rejecting science.
Right, balancing it. Balancing it with the heart,
Yeah.
with compassion.
Precisely.
And then there's that line about a new crusade.
Yes.
Not of war, but of peace.
Such a powerful image.
Chills.
It really is.
True change.
Yes.
Lasting change.
It has to come from within,
Precisely.
conquering hearts and minds.
Exactly.
Not land.
Exactly.
Now that's a revolution I can get behind.
It is a profound revolution.
Absolutely.
More profound than any material or political change.
Transforming ourselves from the inside out.
Exactly.
And in doing so, transforming the world around us.
Precisely.
And speaking of transformations, we can't forget about St. Augustine.
Yes.
This is one of the most mind-blowing parts of the book, in my
It
opinion.
is fascinating.
St. Augustine, this revered figure,
Yeah.
now communicating from the spirit world, promoting spiritism. It's wild.
It challenges our assumptions, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
As if he's saying, hey, I might have had it wrong back then, but now I see things differently.
And he even predicts his mother's return
He does.
to reveal the truth about the afterlife.
It's quite a story.
It's like a spiritual ghost story.
It is.
But what's really mind-blowing is that he admits to having changed his views
Yes.
because of his newfound understanding.
So even religious figures, even saints,
Right.
they can evolve.
Yes, their views can evolve.
You learn something new every day, even in the afterlife.
It seems so.
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? How might our understanding of religion and spirituality evolve as we continue on?
It's a fascinating question.
Yeah, and one we'll have to explore further in our next segment.
I will.
Stay tuned, listeners.
Stay tuned. Yeah, it's a fascinating question to consider.
What I really appreciate about the gospel according to Spiritism
Right.
is that it dives into these deep, profound questions,
Yeah.
but it doesn't get lost in jargon
It doesn't.
or like super abstract theories.
No, it's very accessible.
You don't need a PhD in theology to understand it.
You don't.
I mean, I can follow along.
Exactly. And Kardec does such a great job of weaving things together.
Yeah.
You know, those philosophical arguments, the
Yeah.
scientific insights, the
Yeah.
personal stories even,
Yes.
to make these ideas come to life.
It's not just here's what to believe, right?
Right.
It's more like come explore with me.
Exactly. Question. Connect the dots.
Like that story about St. Augustine and his mother.
Right. Such a powerful story.
That was like a ghost story,
It was.
but also so profound.
It was.
It really stuck with me.
It's a great example
Yeah,
of how Kardec blends the mysterious and the meaningful.
absolutely.
It makes you want to learn more.
And speaking of wanting to learn more, I found the way he clarifies the role of mediums really helpful.
Yes, it's an important topic.
You know, it's something that can be so easily misunderstood,
It can be.
wrapped up in skepticism or sensationalism.
Absolutely.
But Kardec brings clarity
He does.
and reason
He does.
to the whole discussion.
Right. He tackles those misconceptions head on.
He does.
Mediums are not mystical superheroes.
Right, they don't have superpowers.
Exactly. They're instruments,
Oh,
conduits,
I like that.
through which spirits can communicate.
Like a radio receiver?
Perfect analogy. You need the receiver
Yeah.
to tune into the signal,
Okay.
but the signal itself is coming from somewhere else.
Got it.
And just like with a radio,
Oh.
there can be interference,
Right.
static, different frequencies.
Yeah. So you have to be careful.
Absolutely.
Not all communication is equally reliable
It is.
or insightful.
Right.
You have to be discerning,
Yes.
critical,
I
even
do.
when it seems like it's coming from the spirit world.
Absolutely. And Kardec really emphasizes that
That does.
use reason, he says.
Okay.
Logic.
Right.
Blind faith is not the goal.
Got it.
Spiritism encourages us to question,
Okay.
to analyze, to test those spirits.
Not just take his word for it.
Exactly. Do your own research, he says.
That's refreshing.
It is.
It's about seeking truth, not blind acceptance.
Exactly.
Active participants. Yeah.
Not passive followers.
And that's what makes it so relevant
It does.
for people today.
Yeah, for modern audiences.
It doesn't shy away from science.
It doesn't.
It embraces it.
I does.
Sees science and spirituality as complementary,
Yes, working together.
not as enemies.
Absolutely.
It's like saying science is great.
Yeah.
Keep exploring the universe.
Right.
But there's more.
Yes.
There's this whole other dimension.
Exactly. There's more to reality
Yeah.
than science alone can explain.
And then there's reincarnation.
Yes, a fascinating concept.
Which, you know, is an idea that's been around
For centuries.
Forever, basically.
It has.
But Kardec makes it feel
Right.
logical,
Yes.
but also hopeful.
It is.
It's not just about being reborn as a
Yeah.
different person
No, it's deeper than that.
or, a cockroach or something.
No cockroaches.
There's a purpose to it, right?
There is.
According to Spiritism.
Reincarnation is about spiritual evolution.
Okay.
Our souls progress through these multiple lifetimes.
Yeah.
We learn from experience, grow in wisdom, strive for perfection.
So each lifetime is like a chapter
I love that amount.
in our soul story.
Yes. A chapter in our soul's grand adventure novel.
Yeah. But if we don't remember those past lives,
Right.
what good is it?
It's a good question.
It's like reading a book where every chapter starts with a blank page.
You make a good point.
We're missing something, right?
Well, even though we may not consciously remember those past lives,
Okay.
they still shape us
How?
at a deeper level, a soul level.
Okay.
They influence our inclinations, our talents, even our fears.
So it's like a hidden code.
Exactly, like hidden files on a computer.
Okay, I like that.
You may not see them,
Right.
but they're running in the background,
Yeah.
affecting how the whole system operates.
So is there a way to access that code?
You can,
Hmm.
just as we can access those hidden computer files if we know where to look,
Ah, okay.
we can tap into those past lives.
Okay.
Introspection, meditation, even past life regression.
So it's not about dwelling in the past.
No.
It's about learning from it.
Exactly. Uncovering its wisdom and using it to live better now.
I like that.
It's a practical approach.
It is.
And speaking of practical approaches, Kardec also talks about the law of attraction.
Oh, this is a big one.
It is.
But it can be so oversimplified.
Because-
Like it's some magic formula.
Right. That's not how Spiritism sees it.
Okay, so what is it about then?
It's not about forcing the universe to give you stuff.
Right.
It's about understanding that your thoughts and emotions
Yeah.
create energy
Okay.
that attracts, like, experiences.
So like you put out positive vibes.
Yes, you vibrate at a certain frequency,
Yeah.
and the universe responds.
It's like a cosmic tuning fork.
Exactly. You become a vibrational match
Okay, I like that.
for your desires.
So it's not just wishful thinking.
Yeah.
It's about alignment.
Exactly.
Energetic alignment.
Precisely.
But that's a lot of responsibility.
It is, right.
That means we can't just blame everyone else for our
Absolutely.
problems.
Yeah.
We have to own our energy.
Exactly. And that leads us to free will.
Ah, the big debate.
The age-old question.
Destiny or choice?
Right.
Are we just puppets?
Spiritism says we have free will. We can choose
Okay.
our thoughts, our words, our actions.
There are consequences, right?
There are.
We're not just in a vacuum.
Exactly. Our choices matter.
It's like, you can steer the ship,
Yes.
but you can't control the ocean.
That's a great way to put it.
You're still subject to the laws of nature.
Yes. Both physical and spiritual laws.
Right, so it's a balance then.
It is a delicate balance.
Understanding that balance.
It's key.
It's key to living a good life.
Exactly. A fulfilling life.
So it's not just about do whatever feels good right now.
No.
It's about what are the consequences of my actions?
Precisely.
How will this affect others?
Exactly. It's about responsibility.
Okay, that makes sense.
And it leads us to another important concept. Charity.
Charity.
Yeah.
Like donating to good causes.
That's part of it.
Okay.
But Spiritism's definition of charity is much broader.
Oh, it's about kindness, compassion, forgiveness.
In every aspect of life.
Every aspect.
Just with money.
Exactly. Embodying those qualities
Okay.
in our daily lives.
Recognizing the divine spark in everyone.
Exactly.
Even the people who drive us crazy.
Even those people.
That's tough.
It is. It's the ultimate test.
Right. Loving unconditionally.
Exactly. Even when it's hard.
It's a journey.
It is a lifelong practice.
Yeah. We're all works in progress.
We are.
Right.
We are.
And every act of charity, no matter how small, it matters.
It does. Every act contributes.
It's a nice thought.
It is.
It reminds me of another important theme in the book. Personal responsibility.
Oh, yes. A crucial concept.
It's not blaming others.
No.
Not playing the victim.
Exactly. Owning your choices
Yeah.
and their consequences.
It's about empowerment,
It is.
but also accountability.
Precisely.
Being proactive,
Yes.
not reactive.
Right. Taking the reins of your life.
Yeah, steering yourself.
In the direction you want to go.
And this applies to every area of life.
Oh, wow.
Your relationships, your career, even your spiritual growth.
The Gospel, according to Spiritism, it's not just a theoretical book.
It isn't. It's a guide.
It's a guide for life.
It is a practical guide.
It's like a spiritual toolbox
That's a great way to put it.
filled with all sorts of tools.
And techniques.
Yeah, for navigating the ups and downs of being human.
And just as a toolbox has different tools for different jobs,
Right.
the gospel, according to Spiritism, offers a variety of perspectives and practices
It does.
to help you address the challenges you face.
Finding the right tool for the job
Precisely.
and knowing when to ask for help.
And speaking of tools, one of the most important ones is prayer.
Oh, yeah. Prayer.
It's a common thread across many religions,
It is.
but Spiritism has a unique perspective on it.
Okay, so what is that perspective?
It's not about begging for favors.
Okay.
It's not about manipulating God.
Right.
It's about connection
Connection.
with the source of love and wisdom within you.
So it's less about asking for stuff
It is.
and more about aligning yourself
Exactly.
with that higher vibration
Precisely.
and recognizing
Yeah.
that you're not alone.
You're not.
There's support.
There
You can communicate
Yeah.
with your spirit guides, with loved ones who have passed.
You can.
It's like having a direct line
It is.
to a spiritual support team.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And just as you can use a phone to call for help in an emergency,
Yeah.
you can use prayer
To connect.
to connect with those who can offer guidance and comfort.
That's a nice thought.
It is.
It's reassuring.
It is.
You're never really alone.
You're never alone.
And that leads us to another key aspect of spiritism, mediumship.
Ah, yes. Back to our radio analogy.
Right. It's like opening a window
It is.
to another dimension.
Yes.
A glimpse behind the curtain
A way to communicate with those who have transitioned.
to the other side.
Exactly.
To learn from them. To
Yeah.
gain a wider perspective.
Absolutely. It's pretty amazing when you think about it.
It is.
Now, before we move on,
Yes.
I want to go back to this idea of moral progress.
Right. A central theme in spiritism
Yeah, humanity on an upward trajectory
towards greater understanding.
toward compassion and love.
Exactly.
It's like we're all on this giant escalator,
I love that image.
slowly but surely,
Yeah.
moving upwards.
Ascending towards enlightenment.
Yeah,
Even though
there are bumps along the way.
there are bumps.
Setbacks, times when we
Things
stumble,
Absolutely.
the overall direction is up.
The trajectory is upwards.
That's a hopeful message,
It is.
even amidst all the chaos.
Amidst all the darkness,
Yeah.
there is hope
Humanity is moving towards something better.
toward a brighter future.
And this idea of moral progress, it connects to social justice too, right?
It does.
It's not just about personal growth.
It isn't.
It's about creating a more just and equitable world.
Absolutely. Spiritism teaches us to care for one another.
To advocate for the marginalized,
Yeah. To work towards a society
Yeah.
where everyone can thrive.
where everyone has the opportunity to thrive.
It's like that saying,
Yeah,
no one is free until we are all free.
exactly. And it brings us back to reincarnation.
Right. It's not just about coming back as a different person.
It's about continuing our journey.
Learning.
Yes, learning and evolving.
Each lifetime is a chapter.
Beautiful way to put it.
Contributing to the overall arc.
Exactly. And each chapter gives us the opportunity
Yeah.
to learn, to grow, to make amends.
It's like getting multiple chances.
It is, in a way,
You're saying it right.
to learn the lessons we need to learn.
And one of the things I find really comforting about reincarnation
Yeah,
is that it helps me understand challenges.
it does.
You know, difficulties, setbacks.
Absolutely.
They're not punishments.
They're not.
They're opportunities.
Exactly. Opportunities for growth and learning.
So instead of asking, why me?
Right.
It's about asking, what can I learn from this?
That's the key question.
Even the tough stuff has a purpose.
It does, a purpose in your soul's journey.
That's comforting.
It can be very comforting.
And it brings us to karma.
Yes, karma.
Cause and effect.
What goes around comes around.
Yeah.
But Spiritism's view of karma is not about punishment.
Okay, so what is it about?
It's about understanding that your actions have consequences.
Both in this life and in future lives.
Exactly. It's like planting seeds.
You reap what you sow.
You do.
If you plant kindness,
Yes.
you'll get joy.
Exactly. But if you plant anger and hatred,
You'll get suffering.
you will. So it motivates you to be better,
It can.
to make good choices.
Yes, to make more compassionate choices.
Knowing that your actions will come back to you.
Exactly.
It's a powerful reminder
It is.
of our interconnectedness,
Of our interconnectedness.
that our actions ripple outwards,
They do.
affecting the world around us.
And it brings us back to charity.
Right. It's not just about giving money.
It isn't.
It's about cultivating love,
Yes.
compassion, forgiveness,
In all your interactions.
even with the difficult people.
Even those difficult people.
This is where we put our beliefs into action.
It is where the rubber meets the road.
It's easy to love those who love us back.
It is.
But true charity,
Yeah.
it's about loving unconditionally.
Exactly. Even when it's hard.
It's a test.
The test of our spiritual maturity.
Yeah, can we rise above our ego
Yeah.
and love even when it's not easy?
Exactly. That's the challenge.
And it's a process,
It's a journey.
not a destination.
Exactly. We're all works in progress.
We are.
Sure.
Every act of charity counts.
It does.
And that makes me think of forgiveness.
Ah, yes. Forgiveness.
It's so important.
It is.
Letting go of anger and bitterness.
Yeah. Choosing to see the good in others,
Even when they've hurt you.
even when they've hurt us.
Forgiveness is crucial.
It's crucial for healing.
It is for healing relationships,
Yeah.
for creating a harmonious world.
So it's not about condoning bad behavior.
Yeah,
It's about releasing yourself from that burden of negativity.
exactly. Choosing to live with an open heart.
It's like stepping out of a prison
Beautiful analogy.
and embracing freedom.
Yes, the freedom of forgiveness.
So as we wrap up this segment,
Yes.
I love a good cliffhanger.
Oh, all right, here we go.
Hit us with that thought-provoking question.
If we are eternal spirits
Okay.
on a journey of evolution,
Yeah.
constantly learning and growing,
Through multiple lifetimes.
what does that mean for our understanding of death?
Whoa, that is a big one.
It is.
Stay tuned, listeners, for the answer to that.
In our final segment,
Coming up next. It really makes you think differently about life and death, doesn't it?
it does, yeah, it offers a total shift in perspective.
Spiritism encourages us to see death not as the end,
Right, not as an ending.
but as a transition.
Exactly. We transition to something else.
So less like game over.
Yeah, not like lights out.
More like moving on to a new chapter.
Exactly. On to the next chapter of our soul story.
We leave the physical body behind,
We do.
but our spirit, our consciousness,
Yeah, that core part of who we are.
that keeps going.
It does. It continues to
Wow.
exist in the spirit world. Yeah.
So it's like graduating
It is like leveling up.
from one level of existence to another.
Exactly. And that growth and learning,
He doesn't stop.
it doesn't stop. It keeps going in the spirit world.
It's all one big journey
It is an ongoing journey.
of evolution.
Yes, of evolution and expansion.
Okay, but if death is just a transition,
Right.
why do we feel grief so intensely?
That's natural, you know?
It hurts so much to say goodbye.
It does. It's a human response to separation.
It's like a part of us is missing.
It can feel that way. It's that loss of connection.
We're wired for connection.
We are, for love, for those bonds.
We miss our loved ones,
We miss their presence.
their laugh, their touch.
Exactly, that unique presence in the world.
Spiritism does offer comfort, though,
It does, in its own way.
by saying those bonds don't just disappear,
They don't, the connection remains.
even if we can't see them.
Even if the way we communicate changes.
It's not like severing a tie.
No, it's more like a transformation.
The connection becomes something more.
Something that goes beyond the physical.
And we talked about mediumship,
We did.
that communication with loved ones who've passed,
It's possible it can offer proof
of that connection.
of that enduring bond.
It reminds me of those near-death experiences.
Yeah, the NDEs.
People talk about such profound peace
They do?
and reuniting with loved ones.
Like a glimpse behind the curtain.
Yeah, a preview of what's waiting.
And Spiritism suggests those experiences are real.
Not just hallucinations.
Yeah. Glimpses into the reality of the afterlife,
A reality where love persists.
where connection continues.
Wow. It really changes how you think about death.
It can, for sure.
Takes away some of that fear.
For some people, it does.
It makes you want to make the most of this life,
It does.
knowing it's not the only one.
That it's just one stage in a much bigger journey.
Savor every moment
Yes, appreciate the preciousness of life.
and those connections we have.
Exactly. The incredible gift of connection.
And that brings us back to your earlier question
Right, the big one.
about Spiritism completing Christianity.
Yes.
Does that mean other religions have their own next step?
Like a software upgrade.
Yeah, if one system got an upgrade,
What about the others?
it's a lot to think about.
It is a fascinating question to ponder.
Do other traditions have those hidden layers of understanding
It makes you wonder.
waiting to be uncovered?
But other possibilities are out there.
It's exciting and kind of overwhelming.
It is, but I think that's the beauty of exploring these ideas.
They challenge us to think bigger.
Yes, to go beyond our current understanding,
Beyond those limits.
to break free from those boxes.
To stay open to new possibilities.
Exactly, to keep asking questions.
And to never stop learning.
Our journey never truly ends.
Well, you've given us a lot to think about today.
I hope so.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Spiritism.
It's been a pleasure.
To our listeners, keep exploring, keep those minds open.
Yes, keep those hearts curious.
And who knows what you might discover.
The possibilities are endless.
Until next time, keep diving deep.